We're going to going live. It still says going live. Okay. Refusing to work right now, and that is here we go, the picture viewer thingy McDoodle head. So here we go. Hopefully you see that as a thumbnail. Or hopefully you see a picture of Tabby. By the way, one person watching, if you see a picture of Tabby and a lot of white beside her where there is nothing, please let me know. And if you don't know, but today we're going to talk about Black Life Lost in New CHAZ. Live, of course, because we are live. And perhaps we shouldn't call it CHAZ. I mean, the CH stands for Capitol Hill. And this is not in Capitol Hill in Seattle. This is in Minneapolis. People are referring. All right, used twos are better news. Hey, what are you talking about? Somebody, Andrew says, LOL, BLM, my ass. Tony again says, Tony Salamoni says,
thank you for that.
Okay, listening. I had no clue. Like, what are you on my Rumble channel? He said, Tony Salamoni says, chatting on FTube. Wow, I am just came through. All right. America First, hashtag Megapark. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Yeah, yeah. And Andrew Baciccio. Andrew Baciccio says, anyone ever heard of Atlantis or Chicago or Baltimore? These people are killing themselves like they're station. Yeah, I mean, you people. Okay, so you people already know what I'm talking about, but we're a different way than normal. So check this out. Here's DuckDuckGo, not Google. Okay, Google. We expect Google to throttle things and stuff like that. DuckDuckGo, they say they don't. All right, and maybe they don't. You know, but let's see. 2 shot, 1 killed. And if we do that, and by the way, folks, tell me if you see what I see. Right now, you should be seeing my search results on DuckDuckGo. All right, and if I have it set to any time, let's see here. Doesn't look like they're talking about Minneapolis. So it's 2 shot, 1 killed in Belfast. Oh, here's one: 2 shot, 1 killed inside BLM autonomous zone. All right. So I was doing a little bit of search early before I went. I start putting in really specific things like news from the last day. I put in the word autonomous zone or term autonomous zone or BLM. But when you put in just that, you see a lot of news stories about people 2 shot, 1 killed in a lot of different places, but not the one. Okay, so this is the one that you folks may have seen. Salty Cracker pulled this article up. I was going to see if we could find any other articles besides this one. All right, so I'm going to go back and check the chat. So again, do you people see? Let's see here. Has anyone? Okay. Well, please, anyone, tell us what you see on the screen. Tell me if you could see a news article right now. National Conservative, America First. Not a source I've heard of, so I can't vouch for that. 2 shot, 1 killed inside BLM. Quote, autonomous zone, unquote, in Minneapolis. And this is from 4/7 BLM protests for the duration of the trial of Derek Chauvin. It's called, quote, the free state of George Floyd, unquote.
Okay. I'm not. Nope.
Make sure you do not curse. You may remember the BLM autonomous zone in Seattle, Washington for much of 2020. Excuse me. By the way, just waking up and having coffee. I do a video about that, and then fast forward a week later, I'm still working on it. You may remember the BLM autonomous. So in this time, I figured wake up, have coffee, just see the article. You may remember the BLM autonomous zone in Seattle, Washington for much of June 2020. City blocks were turned into a permanent 24-hour-a-day. Not exactly. I mean, when you're shooting people in the buildings that happen to live inside there, you know, they do have to go all that. And when you're terrorizing people, that's not a protest. Let's continue. Several different mob between rival left-wing groups and what appears to have been rival gangs competing to sell drugs. Shot and injured on June 7th. On June 20th, 2 different people were shot. Horace Lorenzo Anderson Jr., a 19-year-old On the 21st, a fourth person was shot. On the 23rd, a fifth person was shot. On June 29th, a sixth and seventh person was shot. Antonio Mays Jr., a 16-year-old black male, was killed. Mentioning the Seattle 24/7 Black Lives Matter left 2 black male teenagers dead, teenager in critical condition, and 4 other males with gunshot wounds. I'm pretty sure both of those teens were killed. Old Imez Wright was killed by. Did I skip? Would you be surprised to learn that a black male has been shot and killed at Free State of Georgia? What do you see on your screen right now? Wonder how many. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, see your screen. News. Great. Thanks, Tony Salamone. Hey, Tony Salamone. And it's just a normal conversation. They're not fighting. They are.
I love it.
All right. 30-year-old Imez Wright was killed by gunfire over the weekend. See, audacity. No, I'm serious. The of saying a black life was lost. Black life. We're going to set up a big protest, set up an autonomous zone, and then was lost, and another one was almost lost in that. So, what the hell? And yes, I don't know who shot who yet, but we can see what happens with all these things is you in a riot, and then the worst kind of people say to themselves, I could get away with murder. Literally. And et cetera, and then murders freaking happen. In the CHAZ in Seattle last summer, granted, it seems like they were just killed by white suburban soft Antifas, not like hardened criminals who are like, oh, I could get away with murder, so I'm going to go over to like the John Brown Gun Club type people who killed those 2 teens. Car went on a joyride, it seems, and then were shot, then crashed, and then shot, executed. As Tabby said, what is it that you remember him saying? Something like, oh, you're not dead yet, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not dead yet?
Asshole to a dying child.
Yeah, and
exactly what he had done.
Yeah, he
knew he had shot a freaking child.
Yeah.
He was happily bragging, and of all things,
lording over the kid. Yeah. Oh, you're not dead yet? Let me kill you now. And that's knowing
who's been shot in the head.
Yeah.
So yay.
That's knowing that somebody is incapacitated.
It's called being sick.
Yeah.
That is sick. Kid. You can tell it's a kid. Even if they're, a mature looking kid, you can still.
Yeah.
I don't buy that. I didn't know it was a kid. No, yeah.
Yep. All right, where were we here? The shooting, let's see, where was I there? A second victim was injured, much like the murders at Seattle BLM Autonomous Zone. His death has barely received any media coverage. And you folks see, when I type in a search engine in DuckDuckGo, which supposedly doesn't throttle like Google, so apparently this is just who's reporting on it and who's not, okay? When I put in the search engine, it's the first news item I see about this is from a source that, I kind of don't like to read, the conservative something or other. I mean, to me, that sounds like, well, who knows? I mean, I can't really judge, but I don't know, and today or this week, because it happened a little over 24 hours ago.
Lady Gaga's dog getting shot.
Yeah, Lady Gaga's dog is news. Okay, so 2 shot, 1 killed, and set it to the past week. The search result says at least 22 shot, 2 killed in weekend violence in Chicago. Safe mother, 2 children killed. Horrible. And going down here, and I am speaking anything about the one that we're talking about here. St. Louis. Oh, that's not it.
No, the media has been blocking out all Antifa and BLM much. Yeah. Got to kind of cover for them.
Yeah, even Democrats. That's what's so funny about that is these groups are like, fuck Biden. These groups are like, the heck with you and the heck with this, the heck with the DNC. And the DNC is just like, oh, no, they're just peaceful.
Peaceful.
They don't exist. They're just an idea.
Protesters don't usually club people with bats and bricks and other various things.
Yeah. So, wow, I'm scrolling down and I don't see it. So if I put in Minneapolis, though, I think I'm spelling that correctly. Let's see here. In South Minneapolis shooting. All right, then I get it. So it's not like they're trying really hard, but still, I mean, what sources do we have here? Foxbangor.com. I don't know what that is. Minnesota, CBS local. Okay. It's not. Well, is it? Shooting of a. Let's see here. Boy killed, man injured in South Minneapolis shooting from March 9th. Tim Harlow Star Tribune. Okay, being reprinted or whatever by groups of people shot each other late Monday near South Minneapolis intersection. Got fire ended with a boy dead and a man injured. So several police called 911. Several people called 911. Let's see here. I can't. I wish I could go to the original. It's kind of fuzzy. Tyrone Maddox charged with murder and shooting of woman in North. Let's see. What else do we have?
Good luck.
Good luck finding. Well, I mean, I found a little, I think.
Found a little. That's usually all there ever is. Scraps of truth.
The Times of New York.
With junk that no one cares about.
Yeah.
Man.
Like,
that's
okay.
What I mean is and people are always going to question the validity. My tongue didn't want to say those last few.
Well, we're just waking up. Tabby hasn't even had coffee.
No.
Okay, so let's see if this is it. Yeah, my voice cracking. This is from one fatally shot close to George Floyd Square, 2 others injured throughout Metropolis. No, well, what I saw was 2 shot, 1 dead. Minimum of 1 particular person was killed and 2 have been injured in shootings throughout.
Anything unless you're gonna link your study.
Okay. A manhunt was underway Sunday after another person was George, near the final might. A manhunt was underway Sunday after a person was fatally shot near the place George final might. Friday night. The capture happened Saturday close to George Floyd Square, which serves as memorial to Floyd, who died in police. Hey, this is probably going to get us in trouble name, but whatever. We'll see what happens. John Elder and his stuff and verbal disagreement. So it's kind of like the other one saying it's an argument, etc. Housing colleagues recognize the sufferer. The sufferer. What are we, Rastafarian? Sufferer man. Guys, the sufferer, as Imy's right, third of Minneapolis, who was beforehand convicted for home abuse and narcotics crimes based on the Minneapolis Star Tribune. Oh, okay. Well, apparently this person's been in the news already. Wright was coaching to be a psychological well-being practitioner. I don't mean to. I don't know. I love the whoever.
Like something you just make up a term, or there isn't one.
Yeah. But they're apparently they're getting their news from this. The Minneapolis Star Tribune, 2 people injured, 1 killed in a rash of weekend shootings in Minneapolis. A single fatality occurred near George Floyd Square in Minneapolis. And this is from the 8th. And, there's too many shootings and killings going around to tell the difference between shootings across Minneapolis, which is bracing for Monday's Star and murder and manslaughter trial. And if you folks don't know, I think they're still in juries. The jurors are worried that, and they're probably right. No matter what the fudge happens, right? There's going to be riots. There's going to be people injured, at least, if not. And probably no matter what the hell happens, they're probably going to threaten the families of these jurors. If it's going to happen before the ruling, and then after the rule that Derek Chauvin is innocent, it's going to be a lot more of that. I don't see how this person can get a fair trial, especially not in that area. Definitely not. And the thing is, it's supposed to be a jury of your peers. So, I mean, is it still your peers if they live in a whole other state? I mean, I don't know, but that's the main thing there. That's the most important part, is a fair trial. How can you get a fair trial if the jurors are afraid for the lives of themselves and their family? Because we know what happens. We know that there's going to be threats. There's going to be Antifa surrounding people's homes. It's sad. But anyway, let's continue. injured in a 3 weekend in 3 weekend shootings across Minneapolis, which is, yeah, we read that. The homicide happened close to the scene of George Floyd's death in the intersection of 30 in Chicago, now known as George Floyd Square, at Hennepin County Medical Center after the shooting around 5:45 p.m. Saturday. And here's really because there's a CHAZ there. I mean, there's because of the concentration of criminality and the of policing that's going to happen.
Yep.
Did this happen coincidentally near it? Happen because of the new autonomous zone? Well, we the news being honest with it, but we can perhaps read between the lines and or see news that comes out from just the people. I mean, there's people that are probably putting stuff out about this that eventually find out whether or not this really was just an argument because of the CHAZ, or the autonomous zone. It's not a George Floyd autonomous zone, FAZ maybe. The man died. Okay, we read that. Authorities did not release the victim's identity, but friends and colleagues identified him as Imez Wright. Okay, so this is the same name that Imez Wright, 30 of Minneapolis. Wright worked created a Twin Cities organization where he was part of a team of 10 staffers who mentor Black youth in St. Paul. Wow. Funded by the State Department of Human Services, said Quentin Bonds, one of his supervisors, quote, "Our team is like family. We lost a family member. Youth with a long list of petty offenses, many of them traffic incidents. He also had a conviction for domestic abuse and another for the sale of narcotics." That Wright told him that he wanted to help steer young people in the right direction. Quote, "He always said he wishes he would have known better," unquote, Bond said. Quote, "He was very authentic," unquote. Steve Floyd, one of Wright's supervisors and a saying that correctly. That's a Greek word meaning universal love, not like erotic love, but like, love. A community protection program for community Floyd area, said Wright was passionate about changing his life. Few details on the shooting were available. Police spokesman John Elder said initial findings indicate the victim had a suspect had been arguing. After the shooting, the suspect fled in a light-colored Suburban that was struck by gunfire. Wow. And then they go on to list other shootings, which I think we're just going to skip over because it's not that we are really the regressive left and things like that. This may or may not have to do with the regressive left. In other words, this as they set up there. I don't know, but I would bet pretty good money it's because of the CHAZ or the autonomous zone that they set up there directly. And we see that the victim there apparently was a social worker, somebody who thought, like, you know what, let me turn my life around and help to turn the life, really just views probably, hopefully, around. And if that's true about him, that's noble, and that's the kind of person I respect. You come from a shitty environment, just a crappy environment, and what do you do about it? Do you victimize others because, man, bad stuff happened to me, so I'm going to make bad stuff happen to other people? Or do you say the buck stops here and you become a better person?
Well, a weak person chooses the first one.
Of course, yes.
The second one does what is called,
and that's what you got to do.
Be abused.
Yeah.
Generation after generation until one of them is doing it.
Yep.
Like, this is not normal.
Yeah. In the case of, say, my family, I would say my father, for the most part, stopped it. I mean, compared to what he dealt with from his father, he pretty much just stopped the cycle or the chain of abuse.
My mom was the same way for me.
Yeah, we do have strong parents who were abused horribly and then decided they were not going to do that to their offspring, which is great. I mean, nobody's perfect. I'm not saying my father's perfect. I'm sure you're not saying your mom's perfect, but
no, they're human. If they were perfect, they wouldn't be human and we wouldn't exist.
True. Yep.
A perfect being wouldn't bring a creature into an imperfect world, now would it?
Yep.
We'd know better.
Yep. Now, folks, before I forget to say it, I want to say that Tabby and I were going to be live tonight with Censorship Sucks, Josh Hu, and a special guest. and it's going to be on Josh Who TV. I already put a link in the chat. If you need to scroll all the way up, it's maybe like the, I don't know, the 10th comment in there or whatever. I put a link to it. You could watch it on YouTube, or you could watch it on joshwhotv.com. And we prefer that you watch it on joshwhotv.com. It's it's all tech. And YouTube, they're becoming another Hulu, another Amazon TV, another, all those things. And they're pushing people like us out, people who are independent content creators. They want to become corporate, which is weird because the appeal of YouTube was that it wasn't. It was an alternative to TV. And then later on, because it was an alternative to Hulu and stuff like that. And now they're like, hey, let's just become a competitor of those already established companies. And what is that going to do? That's leaving a big gap in the market for platforms like BitChute or Rumble and others to take over. Although Josh Who says that BitChute's already censored him. Hold on, I'm going to wait for this loud vehicle. I'll sip my coffee. Yeah, so Josh Who we're going to live stream with again, or by the way, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific time tonight. He has said that BitChute has already censored him, which I don't know. I'm not very surprised because Tabby's got to go take care of a chicken.
She's standing out there like, where am I? She's blind. She can't see where she is. She fell out.
All right, baby, you take care of that. Tabby's taking care of one of our chickens that she can see through our window has accidentally gotten out of her cage somehow. And that's okay, except that she's blind and she could hurt herself. But what was I going to say? Yeah, okay, so again, the live stream is going to be tonight on joshwhotv.com or his YouTube channel. I think it is hashtag exposing the truth. No, wait, hashtag seeking the truth. Space. Josh Who. I'm going to say it wrong, so I'm not going to say it. But anyway, link in the description for that. Join us tonight. And we're going to also have a special guest, maybe two, but it looks like it's going to be one of our two special guests will actually make it. The other one, I don't know. I haven't heard from her. But it'd be great to have her on sometime because it'd be great if she could tell us about her own personal experiences at the Capitol on January 6th. All right. But the special guest that we have on tonight she will be talking about her own personal experiences with radical left groups, as well as some research she's done. And by the way, this woman who we're going to have on tonight, she has quite an impressive biography. I mean, she's been a friend of ours online for, a few years now. And I didn't realize what a biography this person had until I started reading some essays by her yesterday. But man, wait till you see, man. Wow. All right, let me take a sip of coffee here. I'm going to go look at the comments, by the way, because I think we're done with this story. The point is that, well, what is my point? My point is that all lives matter. To these people, not so much. And it may that another black life was lost because of the whole radical. All right. And of course, whose life, Kirby's life matters. The person who Derek Chauvin may or may not have killed, depending. Of course, his life matters. But because somebody's life is lost, is the appropriate reaction to that violence, rioting, arson, and then killing somebody? No, of course not. How often have we seen, and people don't pay attention to this, how often have we seen Antifa try to light a building on fire with people inside? That's happened. I put it on my channel. People trying to kill other people. Because, I don't know, Orange Man bad, I guess, or some fucking shit. Some stuff. All right, well, let me look at the comments there. Boop. All right. Justin. Tony Salamoni. Tabby, move a little. Yeah, okay, sorry about that. Usually she's so much louder than I that she does have to sit away from the microphone, but I guess she's not close enough. Moonbase Radio. Hey, Justin, Moonbase Radio, political blackmail, but apparently us patriots are the naughty people. Yeah. Scribble Spoon.
We were back in 1776 too. So yeah, every time any real patriots come out, they're labeled, you're anti this, you're bad. Like, okay, so we'll be remembered in history as the good guys. Gotcha.
Right. if I have anything to do with it, which is, lately what I've been working on lately is trying to nail down what actually happened in the last few years. But right now I'm concentrating on January 6th. And I'm just collecting the live streams and the tweets before they delete them. And because they're going to, or at least try to. And, I don't want in a few years, we're going to be, we're lied about these events as they're happening. And then the lies just get bigger the next day, and in the weeks and months and years that follow, they just get worse and worse and worse. And, the lie gets bigger and bigger and simpler and dumber. All right, let me try to read some of these comments. It is a little bit small for me, so I'm trying to make them bigger. Yes, Scribble Spoon Tabby is the wife. Or his wife, yes. Tabby is my wife, yes. Tony Salamoni, I've lost all faith in the justice system. I understand. Moon Basic has answered. The other person cut out a little bit. Oh, you're cutting out a little bit. It could be just my internet, though. I'm not sure. I don't know. But, we do live in an area where the internet is not so strong, Moonbase. Tony Salamoni said same thing happening to them. Dude cutting out in and out badly. All right. Well, buffering, but worth the pain. Oh, I know it hurts to listen to something that is buffering and cutting in and out. I know it really does. So I might just end the live stream because of that. But Andrew Baciccio, Hillary Clinton said that Trump supporters are a cult. Has she ever seen Antifa or BLM terrorism? When are they going to start calling this domestic terrorism, which it is? You're absolutely right. Spencer Strickland, Justin Trouble, would you please ask Tree of Logic to be you're right. I do have to contact her sometime. Then at a certain point, I can't keep my eyes open, and I make it from the computer to the bed. Typically, my day, that's minus the other stuff that we have to do. We do have to, take care of our home front and our animals and our business and stuff like that. But I'm just not going to go into, I'm not going to bore you with those details. Hot retarded chicks. Tabby loves the name. So do I.
I love it.
Everything boils down to asshole. What does that mean? Everything boils down to asshole? I mean assholes? Everything boils down to...
Yeah, when you look at everything, it's just a bunch of assholes fighting with other assholes.
Yep. MCN 72. Where are the men? Where are the men in these areas? Antifa would be annihilated instantly where I live. These places are going to have to put a stop to this themselves. Yeah, you know what? You're right, but
here's the thing. Antifa and BLM do the same tactic. They will never go to a neighborhood that they know is filled with guns and pull this. They won't. They go to poor areas, poor districts where they know the people don't have the money for weapons, or not that many of them actually do have a gun. They're handpicking the areas is what I'm saying. They're picking the weakest, crappiest ones. Well, most of the time, that's what they want. Every time they try and go into a good zone and try and take it, they usually get chased the hell out real quick.
Yeah, I think it has to also do with the fact, and these go hand in hand with what you're saying. Those areas also tend to have a lot fewer people who are, pro anti. Mm-hmm. These things go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So
it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. I was thinking for the longest time, people will start fighting back. People will do what's right. It's like, no, they won't, because they're afraid. At the end of the day, people are afraid that they're going to get locked up and they're going to lose their job. Or you're just going to
areas
all over the country, baby. But you see it when BLM and Antifa start cloistering in their CHAZs and stuff. You see it. You see that the people who live there aren't fighting back, or only a couple are. And then some are filming it. But regardless, the majority of the people in the zone are just too afraid of getting in trouble, because we know the status quo currently. If you're a leftist, you can burn down a city block and they'll give you a trophy. If you vote Trump, or you are in the center anywhere, you're a Nazi. And anything you say or do is just that. Nazi behavior. So defending your street from a bunch of thugs trying to burn it down Well, are they leftist thugs? Well, then you can't do that. You're a Nazi. Automatically. This is why we don't see retribution happening to these a-holes. Because of that. That's just the most logical freaking answer as to why are not any of us doing anything. Because that's what it is at the end of the day. That's what it is. I don't want to get locked up, and I know they're going to purposely lock me up and purposely throw the book at me.
Yeah, well, we've already seen a precedent set in these places that if you do the actual bad things and you're a leftist, you get away with it.
Yeah.
Then if you try to do something to stop it, then you get in trouble.
Anyone remember the McCluskeys? They were accused of pointing guns at BLM on the street, in an open street. No. They pointed guns at a BLM horde that broke through their gate and were on their private property.
Yeah.
But that's not how it was spun. And the McCluskeys had to dip into the bank account to get themselves out of the hole that the left was trying to bury them in for doing what? Oh, that's right. Exercising their constitutional rights. Oops. Not allowed to do that because, unless you're a leftist, and in which case you don't care about constitutional rights, so you wouldn't be trying to defend your stuff. Yeah. Oh, it's maddening. It's maddeningly stupid.
It is.
It's stupid.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like it is amazing that, okay, so for example, in Portland, people just go through a revolving door. They were rioting every night for months on end, right? And they knew that they get in trouble, they go to jail, they get out, they go and do it again. Get in trouble, get in jail, get let out, go and do it again, and again, and again, and again. And you know who's actually in serious trouble? Russell Schultz, Joey Gibson, okay?
Didn't do anything wrong, but they're gonna be crucified.
Yeah, Simi Singh also is in trouble too, which, that makes sense because Simi Singh whipped out a baton and hit somebody over their head, but Russell Schultz and Joey Gibson didn't.
No, but like I said, they don't stand on the left, so they're not good people according to, the powers that be.
Oh, I'm sorry. By the way, I think I misspoke. I think Simi Singh is not the name I meant. I forget the name. Anyway, Simi Singh, I think, is somebody else. But the guy who hit the person there at the cider, we're talking about the cider riot incident, if you remember that, folks. I think it was 2018, maybe it was 2019, but the cider riot thing where Joey Gibson and, a bunch of other people went there and they basically went to Antifa's eating outside. This was before any, so this, I think, was 2019, but they went there and they went to this outdoor cafeteria and they said basically, hey, I forget what they're referring to, but they were yelling about what some of them did to somebody. I think maybe, I forget what it was, but Antifa had viciously attacked a friend of theirs. It may have been Black Rebel. I'm not sure. But so Joey Gibson and a bunch of people went there during the day to say, what the hell is wrong with you people, to make a spectacle of it because they deserve it. And Andy Ngo was there too, by the way, filming it. And
what's wrong with you people? Everything.
Yeah.
Everything is wrong with them, and they're barely people because they dehumanize everybody else who isn't them, including their own ranks, by the way.
Yep.
So, I'm gonna dehumanize you assholes right back. Sorry, but I am. Don't like it? Stop doing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the comments here. Thank you for calling them leftists and not liberals. Well, yeah, that's the things that would go.
They're leftists. They have oxymoron to equate these people with the word liberal.
It's a very thorny thing. Up until just a few years ago, I thought I was a liberal. And then the more I learned about it, the more I realized that, no, I'm the kind of person that liberals sometimes call fascists. Apparently, I'm a classical liberal than a liberal. And that's the thing. Words change meanings. It used to mean what libertarian now means. I can't tell you how many people say Antifa's good and libertarians are fascists, when libertarian, by definition, is literally as opposite as you can get from fascism by definition. It's also opposite as you can get from communism by definition, as well as National Socialism by definition. But the opposite, but they call that fascism. But yes, the word liberal, it means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. These days, liberal might mean what I mean by regressive leftist to some people. It means that.
Yeah.
It's really weird. I try to not use these words anymore because they're under ways. It's one of those words.
Centrist. I don't know what I am. That's probably from my mom raising me that way. Just leave her alone. Do weird things like play with a feather for a half an hour and just be totally happy. And somebody's like, "What's wrong with your dog? Like, is she hurting anyone? Then leave her alone."
Right.
Yeah, I'm like,
Right.
it's just let somebody judge your kid for you. Don't judge your kid's activity. Are they hurting anyone? Then let them be. They're doing. They'll find their middle.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people would not call that middle, Tabby. It depends. I mean, that's the thing. And then there's also the whole. I think it was Tim Pool the other day described. If you imagine an island, there's an east on the island. There's a west. There's also a north and a south, which is authoritarian on the south. If the shore crumbles away, island, the center has to move, right? So then what is left and what is right kind of changes. Yeah. And one expands, the other shrinks, you could say. Middle, and that's the Overton window. The Overton window shifts, and it doesn't just between left and right. Part of the problem, I think, with our society is people think in terms of left and right, which is a one-dimensional thing, without realizing there's also up and libertarian versus libertarian.
I'm just somewhere in there. And
yeah.
Hell alone. Mind this and stop trying to pick each other's pockets. That'd be kind of nice. We could be a kumbaya fucking world. Not completely, pretty close.
Yeah. Tony Salamoni says Sullivan goes free. New attorney general going after capitalist stormers. Yeah. Sullivan's because he's a regressive leftist, but also because he has connections because of his. He's really stupid and incriminated both himself and his father on something. Or what was that? PT. That guy did an amazing interview with John Sullivan about a week ago. And if you folks haven't seen that, you got to see that. It's on two different videos. One is just the interview, and one is this sort of few-minute pre-show and the hour or so after show. But you got to see that, folks. That John Sullivan man is such an idiot. He is hilarious. Well, there you go, guys. There's a friend of mine who is in your area has told me some other sometimes. Yep.
That, and if there's a group to be racist while saying that you're not, who do you think's gonna join in on that group?
Yep.
Yeah. Please.
People.
How many people of color and a gay persuasion have Antifa and BLM purposely tried to lynch? Oh, a crap load.
Oh yeah.
It's like they're. You gotta be careful.
Yes, they want to make an example of you.
A lot of scumbag KKK members posing as, I love dark people, Antifas, and BLMs. You ever wonder why half the rank, what more than half the rank happens to be white? Yeah. You idiots have literally given actual white supremacists an outlet to be racist publicly without retribution. This is the KKK 2.0. And you just don't know it yet. That's what they're going to be remembered for later. Guaranteed, some of these idiots in charge are going to be found to have been funneling money to these jerks.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. It's just a matter of time.
Yes, and tonight between Antifa and BLM and etc. with jihad groups and, for example, CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations, they try to pose themselves as we're civilized human beings and blah blah blah. Look, we wear suits and we cut our hair short. We don't have like these long beards. We're not radical Islamists, but they are. We'll be talking about that tonight. Again, that's going to be on Josh Who TV tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be a live stream. It shall be fun. There's already a link in the chat. I posted it in the chat, so you have to scroll way up to the top. I will put one in the description of this video, but I can't do it while I'm live streaming, so it'll have to be afterwards. But I don't know. I think is there anything else we want to talk about, or shall we go? Don't want to keep pushing our luck, with the lack of noise that we normally have. A lot of noise around here, because we do have animals and stuff like that. And usually it's really freaking noisy here. That and people around here because of the mountains, people like to have very loud truck engines because it helps them to get up those hills. Feral leftists, says C.R. Williams. Yeah. Tony Salamone, Kennewick, Washington. Here, most of Washington state is conservative, yet we are perpetually blue state. Well, it's because you have such a high concentration, number one, of people in cities like Seattle and in Olympia, and number two, because they cheat. Yeah.
They just cheat.
Yep. MCN 72 Antifa is never gonna stop. They will always demand more. There today. That's great. Thanks, Zeo Gold. Am I saying that right? Zeo. I want to say Zoe Gold or Zoe Gold, but it's ZEO Gold.
This is literally gonna take one in the community not caring about getting arrested, not caring about being persecuted.
Yep.
It's going to take every last one standing up and mobbing these idiots right back to stop it.
Zeo Gold says that he or she knew the leftists were racist back when they remember this, Tabby, when they went after D&D and they said your orcs it's a racist thing because obviously your orcs are supposed to be black people.
Who would assume that they're black people? That's just
racist SJWs.
No, in D&D, there is a race of black people.
Yeah, there's a few.
Yeah.
There's drow, but that's not what you're talking about, is there?
Legitly descendant-looking people.
Yeah.
There is a race of them. So who the hell goes, well, this game has a race of black people that already exists. But see, no, they intended the monsters to be the black people.
I'll tell you.
You are sick in your head. You are sick in your head because your racist little ass saw a freaking character on a piece of paper and went, that's got to be a black person. Are you insane? No, that's a rhetorical freaking question. Yes, in fact, you are insane. You know how I know? You're talking right now and you won't shut up long enough to hear yourself. You idiot.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, that's just
like,
oh my God.